Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I just got to get started with this. Like, no joking around, no distractions, no, none of that. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is it is time to prepare. For what? I don't know. We're about to find out. We're about to find out. So let me organize my dragon and my cards. Okay. How's everyone's day? You guys doing good? Private Los, are you going to be acting up today? Because this is like what your, I don't know, 7th, 8th account. I'm going to ban you right from the start if you can't behave yourself. You start writing weird stuff up in the comments, you're going to be out. Okay? So that's the only warning you're going to get. I like to try and hold space for people. But if you're going to be too much, your girl has standards. Your girl has standards, and my girl has standards. Okay. So, all right. Let us, okay. I believe you. I believe you until I don't. I believe you. All right. Hopefully you can stick with that choice. All right. Just getting cards ready. You're welcome. So, I could be civilized. I could be. Almost ready, guys. Almost ready. There is like an increasing energy. I don't know what this energy is indicative of. I'm going to try and assess just to make sure that we have a clear idea of what it is we're going to be entering into. It's a period of something, right? There's a cycle that needs to be broken, is the sense that I'm being given. And whatever you do in this period to prepare, that's what's going to either break the cycle or further perpetuate it. All righty. I was just sifting through my thoughts. Okay. Let's get started. Let's get ready to rumble. No. We don't want to rumble. We want peace. We want peace. Okay. Good. That's very, very good. All right. That's kind of... It'll do, donkey. It'll do. Okay. So there's something that's needing to be contained, and I would say that you're doing an amazing job containing it. It's definitely a sense of needing self-control, needing to be aware of the processes that maybe you are entering into, and allowing the fire to do what it does, which is, cook. Now, whatever it was that you are either in the process of containing or have just finished containing, it was trying to create something that would force you back into a space of shrinking yourself, a space of not coming forward, not this, not that. you contained it. That's what you need to know. You've successfully contained it, and it needs to remain contained. Now, don't allow your passion to be, I guess you could say, harvested. An upside down passion is something that parasitic things can use to harvest energy from you. We're entering into a time of harvest. We're entering into a time of harvest. Traditionally, this is the time of year um, where, you know, stuff are being harvested from the fields and all of that. Um, ooh, Yikes. You can't get everything you want, Jay Shepherd. You can't get everything you want, okay? You might be joining King Carlos on that list. Shake it fast, but watch yourself. Shake it fast. Show Lindsay what you're working with. um, okay, so this is a very foreboding sense, right? It's a feeling of just not, I'm not going to let myself go there yet. Let's see what the cards have to say. So, ethos, it's the mindset. I'm picking up, I believe I'm picking up on an attempt to get us to be the very ones to manifest the things that are not beneficial for us. So, have you guys ever heard of how certain entities, they need to harvest your fear in order to create the circumstance that eventually leads to your oppression? That it's your fear that fuels these events. Um, an example of this, they do predictive programming sometimes in order for you to get the visual um, of what is wanting to be the end result, what the powers that be wants to happen. And if enough of us participate in that, then eventually that is what we go ahead and manifest for ourselves. They need our manifestation energy. Fallen ones are disconnected to a certain degree from creation, and that disconnect prevents them from existing in a co-creative space. Like you and I, we can co-create circumstance with each other because we're still connected, right? So in that connection, um, if we allow things to manipulate our mindset to really enter into our ethos, then we can be used by other things to bring certain events to fruition. You have to be careful about what you allow yourself to participate in, what you allow yourself to really take in as truth, as factual. Um, there's a lot of things that I'm aware of that's happening kind of like behind the wizard's curtain. And I'm not allowed to talk about it publicly yet. I mentioned a little snippet of it over on my TikTok live stream yesterday. I can't repeat that here though. I don't know why. But just know that we each have our own guardian. We each are assigned a team of um, divine beings that helps us to better understand and better comply with what our soul is trying to get us to learn. Um, they help with the guidance, right? And they're almost like our tutors. Um, well, not really tutors, but like a teacher's aide. Your soul is a teacher, and this team is the teacher's aide, and they assist with, preparing the lessons, they assist with the corrections and all of that. So, we need to prepare ourselves by simply working on our adaptability. If you are someone who is absolutely a creature of habit, whatever is coming up, something is trying to convince me. I'm going to be very transparent right now. Something is trying to convince me that whatever is coming up is so scary and so bad. And shut up. That's just how I feel about that. Like, there is nothing that you cannot overcome in life if you choose to. Okay. You have to choose to overcome. You have to choose to face whatever challenges are presented to you and overcome. And it's not about having all the answers right now. It's about trusting that you have the ability, the capability to seek out solutions that are viable and to implement them in your life. Okay. So this is not about fear. You can feel fear for a moment as you realize what this could possibly mean for you personally. That's fine. If that's your knee jerk reaction, that's your knee jerk reaction, but you don't stay there. You then need to bring yourself back to center and begin assessing, okay, so why am I afraid? What do I need to do about this? What do I need to pay attention to? Do I need to create a laundry list of tasks to complete? Do I need to um, exist in a different space, either within myself or externally outside of myself, right? So, some upside down cycles are being loaded into the collective template. These upside down cycles can just absolutely miss us with their bullshit. Can we just set that intention right now? Miss me with your bullshit. Okay? We're going to let it miss us with its bullshit. These upside down cycles, they can be participated in by people who choose to. Y'all are my community. We don't need to participate in these upside down cycles. Okay? We don't. We don't. The whole point of these upside down cycles is to create instability within you without you allowing through passive permission for instability to be created. Um, they can't create instability. They can't. Michael says to announce. Okay. I don't know who needs to hear this, but apparently someone does. I am a daughter of the fractal of God that is chaos, cosmos, chaos. It is okay if the world becomes chaotic. Not only will I survive, I will thrive through that because I choose to, not because I'm exempt, but because I can be immersed in any environment and I can handle myself. Not me talking big and bad, me actually declaring the factuality of my nature. You need to get to a point where you can declare the factuality of your nature. I'm not talking about people who are talking all big and bad. Like, really, truly recognizing how much have you been through in life? And you've gotten through all of that. You might be a little bit dented up, right? That's okay. You still got through it. Think about all the things you've been through and be like, oh my gosh, I know. I mean, I've been through so much. I don't understand. You don't need to understand, baby boo. You just need to accept you've been through a lot. You still here. You're still here. You are still here. So what needs to happen? You need to acknowledge your capacity to overcome any type of circumstance that is brought your way. Invocation ritual. We're approaching a time of harvest. That's all I can say about that. Um, all right. No, I don't want an AI powered boost. AI, leave me alone. I know what you actually are. Stop it. So, to invoke is to cite or appeal to someone or something as an authority for an action or in support of an argument. Call on a deity or spirit in prayer as a witness or for inspiration. Call earnestly for. Ooh, wait. Call on a deity or spirit as a witness. Call earnestly for, give rise to evoke. Invocare, to call. Okay. To call upon. It's Latin for to call upon. There's something huge that's going to happen. Um, I think I think we need to allow ourselves to recognize the gravity of how close we are to crossing a threshold of some kind. There's a threshold that's going to be crossed by those who have the courage to step forward in their journey. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I just really feel like Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. The messages I'm getting right now are just intense. It's intense, and I don't know how to um verbalize this so that it can be more readily understood without triggering elevations of fear. So this really should be a Blu-ray update, not a Pisces reading. Um ah. Do you guys feel all that energy that is swimming through this space right now? It's a lot of energy. Okay. There's going to be a massive energetic shift. That energetic shift involves the invocation, the calling upon. Um, it has to do with the etymology. To evoke, call earnestly for, to call upon a deity or a spirit as a witness. To cite or appeal to someone or something as an authority for an action or in support of an argument. There are things that are trying to be pushed through. Things that are trying to be evoked from the underworld. Do you understand what this means? If it's no longer in the underworld, where would it be? The wrists are bound by thorns. The fingers are entangled. Palms open, toroidal spheres exposed. Energy is being allowed to accumulate before entering into the proper receptacles. A harvest is at hand. One second. Hold on. A great sign of the woman in the sky, clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and horns and 7 crowns on its heads. Its tail swept a third of the stars out of the sky and flung them to the earth. Rahu. The dragon stood in front of the woman who was about to give birth so that it might devour her child the moment he was born. She gave birth to a son. Hold on. She gave birth to a son, a male child, who will rule all the nations with an iron scepter. And her child was snatched up to God and to his throne. The woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 1,260 days. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Hmm. Hold on. How dry is the Euphrates? Hmm. What percentage is dried up? What percentage? When 3/4 of it is gone, the dragon will arise. So, ask body in reverse. This is not something we will feel. This is not something we will be given advance notice of. Um, you have to be more in the mind than you are in the body. For the mind is the interpreter of the messages that come in through the heart. And unfortunately, the way society has us programmed, we haven't been listening to the heart very much. Yes, they've found some caves, but the cave that needs to be, um the cave is still submerged. It is the entrance. It's an exit point for a subterranean chamber in one of the mountain ranges in that region. So, it hasn't dried up enough yet, but it will. It will. Um, all right. Nature. It's within your nature, unless you're an NPC, it's within your nature to really allow for true clarity. Okay. For true clarity to reach you. This is a point where, oh, wow. This is a declaration. If you look at the symbols, right? The symbols look like a cross. And then on my end, it looks like a cross, a thunderbolt, and a sword. Cross, thunderbolt, and a sword. Cross, thunderbolt, and a sword. Just repeating patterns over and over and over. Cross, thunderbolt, and a sword. This is not good. This is. There are energetic structures that are going to be um no, 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 no. No. There are energetic structures that I'm aware of that have knowledge of and can access and activate. And these energetic structures are dormant in all humans as they enter into physical form, right? It's just a lot of information. I don't know how to make sense of it for you without telling you more than I'm allowed to say. So, this is just a very difficult. Hold that. Hi, baby. Can I FaceTime you later? Because I'm live streaming right now. Love you. She is so adorable. That's my mini me. That's my mini boo. Okay. So that was definitely a good redirection. Thank you, Michaela. All right. And thank you, mini me. Um, so there are energetic structures that are needing to go active. Uh, and that's part of the preparation. Um, there's just a lot of energetic things that are being put into play. And these energetic things require you to actively participate in the progression of your ascension mechanics. If you allow yourself to be fully present, some of these things will. Okay. But what about people who are. So there's this energetic structure that I'm aware of in the chest. I can activate that. Once that energetic structure is activated, you can then begin to accrete frequency at a much higher rate. You're no longer phase locked. You're no longer stuck at the level of dimensional consciousness that you've been struggling to ascend beyond. I will have that activation available during the 9-9 portal. Okay. I'm going to do a fire ceremony that day. I will have that activation available. That is the AOK activator. AOK. I can't talk about the other things. This is hard. This is a hard. Okay. I got to move forward. The creator. So, creator is going to have a hand in this. It's no longer um did they make a TV show about it? Ooh, I'm telling you, I think some screenplay, screenwriter watches my content and makes bomb ass shows off it. I'm just saying that's okay. But just can you email me and let me know so I can watch it? Please? um, so creator is going to have an active part in this. At this point, things have gotten so far out of hand. This is about angelic siblings fighting. There's one that is a little troublemaker. We'll call him Shaitan. He's a troublemaker, absolute troublemaker. Um, Send me royalties. I don't know. um, is it what's the show called? Aisha? Is that how I say your name? Aisha? Aisha, you are the girl that I never had, and I want to get to know you better. Have you heard that song? um, Power. Only females had it. No, it's not just females. Males have it too. It's more potent in females. Um, but when it activates, it tends to like when it is triggered by an attempt, it tends to also trigger a menstrual cycle because the flow of that, it's almost like your hormonal levels need to reach a certain ratio in order to properly align you back to uh, proper position so that you can harness tremendous amounts of frequency. Um, but yeah, it's just, one of these things. Um, let's see. Hold on. Aisha, you are the girl that I never had. Um, okay. Okay. So power. Creator is so much larger than life, right? It's like we have this little tiny Hollywood stick. And for us, it's this massive torch. It's time to prepare because for those who are the way showers, okay, I'm not even going to say the chosen ones. That's nonsensical. We're all chosen. You had to win a lottery to be here during this time. You know how many people, how many souls wanted to incarnate during this time because the potentiality to clear your karmic ledger board was so pronounced, like so pronounced. Every interaction that you're having in this life is giving you the opportunity to clear out miasmic distortions that have been preventing you from reaching a level of clarity known to other humans as nirvana. I'm saying this is a very special time that we're living in. Very, very, very special time. Yes, so what? Prison planet this, whatever, yada, yada, yada. No, what you need to focus on is what is trying to be accomplished by soul during this period. And it is something so far beyond profound. Do not see this through the lens of a flawed and limited human perception. Allow your perception to transcend to the degree that you can see this in a space of neutrality. Why is this occurring? Because of the profound nature of the elevated potential to clear, potential to create, potential to completely shift the entire trajectory of the human consciousness and the landscape of the human mind. So, ascension in reverse, right? Something is trying to layeth the smacketh down. You're trying to rise up, and they're like, boop, right, boop, like that, trying to knock you down, trying to knock you down. And look at that. Look at the feathers tied to the fingers, like trying to convince you it is the hand of God, not giving you permission to rise. No, no, it is not. It is not. You have to really pay attention to the things that are unfolding for you right now. Sacred sexuality in reverse. For those of you who are not in a long-term monogamous connection, monogamous relationship, long-term monogamous relationship, mutually monogamous, okay? Mana do 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 do. Monogamous do 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 do. Monogamous do 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 do. Okay. Anyways, I would absolutely abstain from sensual encounters with random people for a time. Um, I mean, you're definitely free to do whatever you want to do. I don't know. Part of me wants to just be like, do what you want to do. It's up to you. I know what the message implies. A hostile takeover of the human species is begun. It's begun. One of the first stages are tyrannical medical procedures forced upon you. Procedures that lack informed medical consent. This video is going to get flagged. I said too much already. The next part. To clear the ledger board. Lily too must be allowed to unleash her children. Do you understand the gravity of that? Lily too was her original name. It was modernized into the form of Lilith. She procreated with Shaitan. Her children are the incubus and the succubus. Do you know what those are? They're sexual demons. You're being told to abstain. Anytime you have sexual intercourse with another person, that is direct port injection of their etheric genetic material into your morphogenetic template and physical body. Her children are already out wilding the F out enough. They're going to get even more wild. Even more wild. So, as I said, you can do what you want. But if you ask me, I would say if you are not already in a long-term, mutually monogamous relationship, I would abstain for a bit. I do offer womb clearings. I do. Um, Let me just write a few things down. This is gonna be a really crunkalicious, a really crunkalicious fire ceremony. um, all right. It's a lot of energy. A lot of energy. I can feel it already. There's a lot of fixation on me right now because I just gave you guys information that I should not have given. They don't want you to know. When have I cared what they wanted? So, um, I usually do fire ceremonies starting around 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the day of the portal. So, yeah. Nick's secrets. They wanted this to remain secret. They wanted it to remain secret. Unfortunately, I was made aware, and I'm not good with keeping secrets like that. Right? Secrets where if I don't say something, um, people get harmed, get hurt, right? It's a part of me that's the most generous part. Now is a time for you to be generous with yourself, generous in your compassion for yourself, generous in the ways you love yourself, generous in your desire to clear things from your space. Now, I'm going to put a QRC code on the screen. And, you guys have probably been seeing me put QRC codes on the screen a little bit lately. Um, this right here. Okay. This right here, parasitic extraction. There's a reason I keep putting that on the screen. There's a lot of things happening and it's preparing the stage. This is going to continue beyond the 99 portal. The 99 portal frequencies will be utilized by me to kind of level the playing field for you in a very powerful way. Because I don't like when things try and exploit your lack of experience, your lack of knowledge, right? That's not fair. If they're going to do stuff, they better do it with your full awareness so that you can choose whether or not you're going to participate in that. So, the future in reverse. This is something that they want you to feel like there's no future. There are some people, I came across a video right before I went live tonight, where this girl is being given a lot of information from her, as she calls it, her entity. And something felt wrong. I've come across her content before, but something felt wrong with this particular video. And she was talking about all of this information, and it was very like densified. Her information it is complex typically, um, and it's usually in alignment with the information that I'm given as well. This one, there were aspects of the information she was given that is in alignment with what I know to be. And then there were other aspects where it's like, bro, your entity is not trustworthy. And I guess that entity has been with them for quite some time, and so she trusts it now. It's playing the long game. Um, you have to be careful about the ethos you adopt for yourself. Ethos is the mindset, the dogma that you live by. Okay. You have to be very, very, very careful. The most powerful thing you can do now is to just really be open to hearing information, knowing that you're not going to, blindly take it in as truth, that you're going to take these terms and you're going to look for more information yourself. And then you're going to consider everything that you've found and then just put it on the shelf. Put it on the shelf. When you need that information, it will come back to you and it will be properly applied. When you keep holding that information, it becomes distorted because of how tightly you grip it out of a place of fear. If you guys knew how much information I have been able to parse from all the things that I've read over the course of my lifetime, I have forgotten more information than multiple doctorate degrees could ever give me. That's how much I've forgotten. It's a perception of forgetting, because I promise you, the moment I need that information again, it's right there at the forefront of my awareness. It's right there. Okay. So, radical acceptance. You have to find a way to radically accept yourself, accept the fact, excuse me. Oh, that's unfortunate. To the person who's trying to access my energy, I thought you were trying to communicate telepathically. You don't have the ability. That's unfortunate. So I'll have to tell you publicly. You got about 3 seconds before I snatch your third eye and ram my entire fucking fist through your solar plexus. That's going to be very hard to breathe through. If you need me to flex how powerful I am in comparison to you, I no longer have any problem doing that and letting people witness me do it. You're encroaching on a sacred space that you can't handle. For those of you sensitive to energy, you might begin to feel tingling and a clicking. I'm loading a charge. I'm putting shields down. You want to fight me? I just removed your third eye. No effort. Maybe once in your lifetime, you'll come across a person who has the capacity to breach any shield. You've just done that today. I look very unassuming. That's for a reason. That constriction you're feeling in your chest, you want my energy so bad? I've pressure injected 1 millimeter of it. Milliliter. A tiny little bit into your solar plexus. You feel that? I know you feel that. You're scared now. You should be. I'm not even mad yet. I'm not even annoyed. Feel that sensation in your wrists? I'm crimping the pathways. My energy can't exit your field. You want my energy so bad? Have some more. You feel it burning through your veins? You want more? Expand. Feel that in your head? You covet the knowledge I hold? Have it. Mm-hmm. Headache, huh? Pressure in the eyes? Perfect. You want more? That's not even a drop on the tip of the iceberg. You want more? I have way more to give. I'll say it one more time. At some point in your life, you get real lucky and you come across the right motherfucker at the right motherfucking time. Remember, approach me with a proper level of reverence, or fuck around and really find out. Clearly, I'm not a love and lighter. Clearly, you've misjudged my face and the way I carry myself. Remember, I'm not even mad yet. When someone identifies as a daughter of chaos, you leave the fucking chaos alone. And just for shits and giggles, Michael, my babysitter, he's not here to protect me. He's the one that holds me back from fucking your ass up. He's laughing at you. You know why? Because both of us both know. We both know you peed your pants a little bit, huh? You can't ever shield from someone like me. And if I don't want you to feel me as I approach, you won't. See little old me? Tiny little Asian me? Yeah, I was made for fucking war. It's one thing I'm really good at. So, who knows? Maybe one of these days I'll be pissed off. He'll be the first one I go looking for. Energetically, of course. Because what you've done, you've initiated the rules of engagement. The moment you tried to touch my shield, you declared war. I take no fucking prisoners. You'll never know when I come. You'll never be able to prove it was me. Turns out not all Asians are passive, huh? That's one fucked way to learn that lesson. This is what you get. It's what you get. I don't feel bad for you. Not at all. Not at all. People think Michael is my protector. I call him my babysitter for a reason. I joke around and I say, yeah, no, he babysits me because I get myself into shit. Doesn't mean I'm in danger. It means sometimes I struggle to remember I'm not here for war like that anymore. Baby boo, just because you don't see the weaponry doesn't mean I don't know how to wield it still. Learn the rules of engagement. The only thing that fucking saved you tonight were the laws of Bushido. You're lucky. You're very lucky. I'm still very fond of my lives in feudal Japan. You want to act like a ninja? I'm a fucking samurai. I don't hide. If I'm gonna fuck your ass up, you're gonna be fucked up. I will not hide in the shadows. You're lucky. Your head still hurts? Good. Take a fucking nap. Drink some juice. Get the fuck out of my live stream. Next time you come, and I know you'll come. I know you won't enter the live stream though. You'll do it on Facebook. You'll watch from your wall. And you'll bring some friends. I know people like you. I know many people like you. All of them learned. Doesn't matter how many people you bring. Doesn't even matter if you call principalities. Their bitch asses are scared of me too. Know when you should leave peace in peace. You wanted that attention? You wanted that clout? You got some real fucked off clout now, don't you? Yeah. I am not the one to use as a benchmark for your power, especially when you're fucking weak. Maybe if you take some classes from me, I can teach you how to be a good person. Or maybe you're a lost cause. I really don't care to find out. Because I'm not your mom, and I won't be nice to you like she is. Uh-huh. I said what I said. Hurt your feelings, huh? Because it's the truth. Hope you enjoyed. Kali, liberation. Too many people have allowed too much bullshit to go unchecked. Too many people. Too many. What we need to begin doing is forgiving ourselves, forgiving ourselves for allowing that type of behavior. For far too many years, I allowed that type of behavior to go unchecked. Not anymore. Not anymore. And no, not every single time will I pause what I'm doing to say these things. Disclaimer. You try and touch my field, you try and scan me, you try and do stupid shit like that without my consent, I can detect all of that. Your third eye is mine. Solar plexus will be tickled by my fist. Okay? I'm done letting people access me and having grace for that kind of bullshit. And no, these are intentional. Sitting and trying to focus to do it. Intentional. If people need to know, I'll be the one to tell you. And that is me showing extreme self-control. Extreme self-control. There are a handful of others just like me who will not exercise self-control. There are a handful who have incarnated, who have the capacity to breach any shield with no consent. It is our integrity that governs our actions. But we will only look the other way for so long before you get what you've earned. Now is a time for all of you to reclaim your space. Your space is a sacred space, and people should not be allowed to do any of that. My reaction is the only appropriate reaction to have when someone tries to access your space. That is the only appropriate action. Okay? So, growth hurts, heals, and harnesses a way through the uncertainty. There's a lot of confusion right now. There's a lot of darkness, a lot of confusion. There's a lot of need to kind of just lay back and breathe. Allow the light of your personal power to give you clarity. Okay? Don't allow yourself to be baited into a space, internal space, of needing to prove your worth, needing to prove how powerful you are. Don't. Just don't. Don't explain yourself to people who don't have the capacity to understand what it is you are explaining right now. Right? So, the unknown, knowing the unknown, but see, it's in reverse. I think for many of us who have incarnated during this time, we have been present through quite a few. I think this is like what, the fifth reset at this point. I know there was at least three, but I want to say there was five. There were two that were very efficiently scrubbed from the Akashic recall. Card number 32, Eternal Gatekeeper. Acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you, but it's in reverse. This card has two meanings. Okay, two meanings. First and foremost, you need to acknowledge, assert, and protect what is right for you. 3 is the number of a solid foundation from which to guide yourself, the number 2. When you create a solid foundation from which you are able to be guided by soul, you then are led to 5, change. 3 plus 2 is 5. So eternal gatekeeper. The second meaning, and Michaela is smiling like a mofo. You like that, huh? In reverse, Michael is no longer going to be halting me from having an appropriate response. You know what that means? Not only is he going to continue to shield me as an additional layering, he's going to begin encouraging me. Ooh, that's going to be fun. That's going to be very fun. I say that's going to be fun because these are people who are volunteering to allow me to test out new energetic pathways that are being dilated for me as I speak right now. Thank you for volunteering, for whoever it is that might choose to volunteer. through your malignancy and delulu ways, I will be further cultivating very profound abilities at your expense. You're the one that volunteered for it. Everyone else will not be affected in any way, shape, or form. Just the ones who volunteer. Rules of engagement. It's one hell of a thing to know about. You see, people like me, we can't just start shit. We have to be unleashed. There's a quote. 1 second. And I quote, I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. From the Khan of all Khans. Let me read that again. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. Just saying. That's a really potent quote. A quote from Genghis, the Khan of all Khans. Yeah. And no, I'm not entering a villain era. I'll never be a villain. Not in this life. Catch me in the next one, though. You might get what you're looking for then. In this life, I'll still fuck shit up. Do not engage me. It's in your best interest to stand down. Card number 24, emptied. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. Ooh, there are things that are being released from the mother's womb. Oh, good God. The ending and beginning lie at either side of the same door. Endings are precursors for new beginnings. It's time for you to prepare for something. It's time for you to prepare for something. I think what you probably need to prepare for is for your power to come back to you. I think for many of us, it's hard to understand. I think for some of us, it's really, really hard to understand how powerful we are. And part of that has to do with this program that causes you to not trust yourself. Right? Why don't you trust yourself? Why do you believe that you can't handle the powers you were custom created to wield? And I used to be there too. I used to feel that same thing. I used to. Not anymore. You see, the people who are constantly afraid that they might lose control and they might harm, people, others, unintentionally do this, accidentally do this, they're the last people who would ever harm someone because you're just so paranoid about harming someone that you never have the opportunity to irresponsibly wield your personal power. I had to learn this the hard way. I've always been so paranoid about accidentally viewing things that someone maybe would not want me to know, to the degree that I blinded myself for years. Years, I blinded my ability to see. Now I'm just like, oh, whatever. I don't know. Everyone has something. I don't have a good memory anymore anyways, so who cares? Whatever I see in your field, your soul wanted me to see that, and I'm gonna forget as soon as it shows me the next thing. Hello, I have a squirrel brain. I have a squirrel brain. It's not a big deal. And plus, I don't condemn people for having lived a life, having learned lessons and had experiences that help them to learn. Everyone has had missteps, perceived missteps. Everyone has experienced things that maybe you're not so proud of. That's none of my business. Do I need to blind myself? Absolutely not. Not anymore. Do I need to be worried that I'm going to mistakenly be disrespectful to someone else's space? No, because I'm always so worried that, people will take what I say in the wrong way and that did it come out in a disrespectful tone. And now if I'm going to be disrespectful, it's on fucking purpose, yo. I'm intending to be disrespectful because guess what? I've entered into that petty space. If you're going to disrespect my sacred space, I'm going to fucking disrespect you too if I so choose. Not everyone gets that honor though, because I won't allow myself to get comfortable with that. Just because I won't allow myself to get comfortable with existing in that way does not mean I still exist in a space of being ashamed that I'm capable of it. I am a whole being. I accept every part of me, the parts that I used to be embarrassed about, and the parts that I think are good parts. And I'm learning, I've seen myself for much of my life in a very convoluted, inverted manner, thinking the parts of me that are shameful, that I should be ashamed of, realizing those are the parts that are capable and wanting to defend me, defend my honor, defend my dignity. And the parts of me that I once thought was me being a good person was nothing but the emotionally manipulative parts of me, the parts that would play the martyr just so what? So that I can cause you to think that I'm a good person because I don't know if I am. Oh, guess what? Now I know for a fact I'm a good person. I don't need to play the martyr. I don't need to convince you of anything. If you don't see that I'm a good person just by observing me for any given length of time, then there's nothing I can tell you to convince you otherwise. Nor do I want to, because you have the freedom, the sovereign freedom to form your own thoughts and have your own opinions about me and everything else in your life. And it is not my place to interfere with that process. And that, living in that way, is how I know beyond a shadow of a doubt I am healing and I am whole and I am stepping into the proper places that I'm destined to exist in. Same journey for all of you. The only reason I'm ahead of you on this journey is so I can write you the map to facilitate your own. Not because I'm better, not because I'm more loved by Creator, but because I was designed to go ahead of you to facilitate your own journey. That's it. I am here in a place of service, but just because I'm here for service does not mean I come unarmed. Fuck that shit. If people think they're going to keep fucking with my energy just because I'm live streaming, you want some? I'll fucking give you some. And you know what? For so many years that I've been publicly visible, the moment I sense I've made someone afraid of me, oh, the tears, the tears. My heart breaks. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't harm people, but I'm absolutely capable of defending myself. absolutely capable. And I need to be vocal about it, to normalize it for our community. You are not lambs that will be led to slaughter. Absolutely not. No. No more. No more. No more. Okay? No more. What the heck is this? Okay. You want me to tell you what this is? This is me speaking my truth. And if me speaking my truth publicly without you knowing what has caused me to speak my truth is upsetting you, you might want to click off because I'm not going to be apologetic about it. What you need to ask me, the more appropriate question to ask me, viewer on Facebook, is what happened? What did someone do to upset you? I'm not going to play a fucking role for people anymore. Okay? And if me having an appropriate response is upsetting, too fucking bad. Okay, you're banned from my channel. You're banned from my channel. Scam because you wanted to come. Let me put your fucking ass on the screen. Oh, another scam. So why are you on here? Because you thought you could get a free reading? Fuck off. How about that? Who's the scammer there? Yeah? You thought you could get a free reading, right? You clicked on and you're like, oh shit. Why is she not joking around? You thought I'd be apologetic? Well, I'm not. Does that make me a bad person? Absolutely not. What's that make me? Real, authentic. A woman who has found her voice again and is properly using it with authority over her life and her sacred space. I'd say that's pretty fucking sexy. Not shameful, nor a scam, but sexy as fuck. And that is how you stand in your power. That right there, it's usually the people who talk about scams who are quick to be like, oh, this is scam. They're usually the people who would take advantage of others, but they won't consider it a scam. You can always tell what someone's heart is like based on the way they perceive things. Like, I don't fuck people over. So when I'm watching someone fuck someone else over, I'm like, well, wait. Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Like, what's actually happening? Did anyone ask them? Like, are they okay? Right? Because I don't fuck people over. People who fuck others over and then get pissed off when they get fucked over, those are the people who are quick to be like, oh, this is a scam. She just snitched on herself. And then, of course, she's going to tell her friend. And then her friend's going to come back to this live stream. And they're going to be like, oh, you're such a bitch, Emmy. Fuck yeah. If you're going to be an asshole to me, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? You've gotten away with it for far too long. You needed someone to correct you. I volunteered to do so. All right, card number 21. Let's see. Luck is not chance, it's toil. Fortune's expensive smile is earned. You're just about ready to hit your mark. So, it says the ancient symbol for Sagittarius is half man, half horse. Known as a centaur, a creature trained in the art of archery, who always manages to hit his target no matter how far he roams. Sagittarians are honest, candid, and not afraid to speak the truth. Since this freedom loving fire sign is not offended by the truth, he is often surprised when others take offense to his words. I mean, amen. I feel that to my core. I feel that to my core. Like, absolutely feel that to my core. All right, so let's see. Um So, when this card turns up in a reading, freedom at the current time is essential. You will feel the need to fight against restrictions of any kind and want everything out in the open. You want to know where you stand, right? If your question pertains to a relationship, okay, we're not doing relationship stuff today. Let's see. Oh. Your future looks promising because you're ready to expand and grow beyond your limits. If you do encounter difficulties, you will surmount them easily and move forward to your next lucky break in life, which should be coming soon. So, this is what we've been talking about. Like, we're at the cusp of something extremely profound, and you need to not diminish the profound nature of what it is you're experiencing, right? The next card, second house owning. Wealth is the ability to truly experience life. Ooh, listen to this sentence. You will own it. You will own it. What is it? Everything. Every single part of you. Your personal power, your journey, your divinity, your purpose. You will allow yourself to receive. Ooh, ooh. The second house isn't always to do with money and possessions. It's about ownership of talent. See what I'm saying? Maintaining comfortable shelter, living up to personal values and self esteem. It's also about what we decide to utilize or manifest in the physical realm, the desired result of which will always be quantifiable rewards, comfort, and also familial happiness. So, let's see. When this card turns up, it's time to concentrate on more practical issues. It's time, it's a time where you need to protect resources to manage those things you own in a mature and equitable way. It's about sowing seeds for a good harvest. It's time to build, accumulate, toil, and manage. You may be at a stage to take the beginning steps of opening your own business or embarking on a path that will not only enable you to realize your dreams, but could also make you a fortune in doing so. If you'd like to receive some of this clearing energy, put hashtag clear in the comments. I'm going to calibrate this to hashtag clear. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to do a little bit of a clearing. Um, yeah, I'll do this. All right. Breathe deep and slow. How do you guys feel? You guys feel good? Yay. Love it. You guys are so welcome. So welcome. So, there's just a lot of energy that's been wafting through. It's been wafting through pretty much all day. And it's time for you to just claim your space. Really claim your space. Really allow yourself to stand in a space of power over yourself. It's not about trying to control others, right? We shouldn't try to control others, but we should cultivate our space. We should allow ourselves to feel our power over our own life, our own journey, our own perception. Okay? It's never about dominating another to prove how strong you are. It's about learning the appropriate level of response for any given thing that you face in life and giving yourself the permission to honor your dignity and your sovereignty. Okay? It doesn't matter what other people think. When you need to set something straight, set it straight. When people want to come at you crooked, straighten it out before you release them back into the wilderness. These motherfucking heifers. Okay. Okay. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No heifer ass energy up in here. Just because your ass has never created and birthed something beautiful for yourself in your life does not mean you get to be all stankaroony up in this space. I don't think so. I don't think so. You don't have to allow your sympathy for other people um, to be the very opening that people use to exploit the goodness that you are. I've done that for so many years. You know, and I don't feel like I'm victimized by other people. I will share this, okay? I will share this because I finally have come to terms with the ways in which I betrayed myself, and I won't do that anymore. There have been times in the past, many times, where I have, out of the generosity of my heart, helped others, given them large quantities of money, paid large outstanding debt so that their utilities can stay on. I've paid people's rent. I've all kind of shit. I don't even expect a thank you. That's just the person that I am. And you would think those people would be like, you know what? I was in a really bad situation. This girl helped me out. I can see how her heart functions. I'm never going to mess with her like that. You know what I mean? Like I'll have just even a silent gratitude and respect for her. She's never held it over my head. No, these people are the very people who turned around and went to anyone they could get to listen, to tell random strangers who do not even know me that I am demonic, I am money hungry, and I steal from people. Really? I steal from people? Okay, because my PayPal just said I just gave you $800 to help you out. with no contract of when you're paying me back, no mention of you needing to pay me back, not even bringing it up again, telling you you don't have to say, stop saying thank you. You already said thank you. Let it go. You're making me feel weird. But I'm the thief. And that used to hurt my heart. It used to hurt my heart. But I realize now it hurt my heart because I hurt myself. I gave people permission to make me feel this way. I invited them to behave this way towards me. Did I deserve it? Absolutely not. But what was my part in the co creation of that? I gave them the opportunity to do it. And when a person is predatory, you give them the opportunity, they'll do it. They will do it. Do I feel like a victim? No. Because I understand the ways I invited that. Again, did I deserve that? No. But I take ownership of the ways in which I allowed it in. Okay? Have the appropriate response. You don't have to use colorful fricatives, sentence and answers. But don't let things in that you know will disrespect your dignity, will disrespect the sacredness of your existence. Okay? And when you straighten things out, don't feel sorry about it. Stand by your words. Stand by your words. And absolutely, Aisha, yes, this right here, silence is consent. I've been the recipient of cyberbullying. I've mentioned that before. And the reason they became emboldened to do that was because I was silent. I didn't want any drama. I didn't want to make it awkward and uncomfortable for other people. So I just stayed quiet. You know, the only time they stopped? When I openly addressed it in a public live stream and I stated their first name. All of a sudden, oh my God, Emmy is such a bully. Oh, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck now. I gave a fuck then. You took it too far. I don't give a fuck now. Well, I don't care if it hurts your feelings. There's not any majorly personally identifiable anything that I'm talking about. The only people who'd be able to identify you are the people who you're talking shit about me privately. So you identified yourself, right? That was the only time they stopped, was when I finally said, no, enough. There will be consequences. And because of the elevations in parasitic behavior, parasitic influence, and parasitic energy, saying no these days is oftentimes not enough. It needs to be said in a very clear, very firm, bordering on aggressive manner. Unfortunately, when enough of us say no in a firm, bordering on aggressive manner consistently, people then begin to learn the concept of boundaries and why you should respect the boundaries. My response, my reaction earlier in this live stream, it's time. I am attacked from the start of the live stream all the way through to the end, every single time I go live. I'm done just allowing myself to receive that on the outer perimeter of my buffer zone. Yeah, none of it gets in. It doesn't. And I rationalize because it doesn't enter my field. I don't need to say anything. I don't need to correct it. No, I need to. I need to correct it. People need to know, you fuck with me in my energy, I'm going to fuck with you back. And you're going to lose that. Because I have capabilities that are unheard of. No, I'm not bragging. Not at all. I have capabilities that are unheard of. Capabilities that you find in esoteric manuals. I was born that way, and I've hid it my whole life. Remember, I'm done hiding. That includes hiding my ability to defend myself efficiently, with precision and potency. You got to stop hiding yourself. You got to stop living in a space of fear of what will people do if this and that. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. Your part in whatever is going to happen needs to be that you let them know from the start. You let them know. And so, whatever consequence they get from you, they willingly chose that. And that's how I am not going to feel guilty. When I snatch your third eye at your fucking head, I'm not going to feel guilty. I told y'all. I told y'all. I'm not fucking around. You think you're so powerful because your third eye is on? Uh, Baby boo, the fact that you still have chakras. The fact that you still have chakras. Yes, condescending much? Absolutely, I'm being condescending right now. The fact that you don't even fucking know chakras constrict your energy. I don't have them. I have no constrictions. It's time people know. I don't play humble. I actually am. Because again, despite my knowing of how different I am, I have a very clear and embraced understanding. I'm here in service. That's it. I'm not here to flaunt. I'm not here to flex. I'm not here to assert my dominance over people who don't have the capacity to defend against me. But fuck that if you think I'm going to play small and let people keep fucking with me at this point. I don't think so. I'm done with that. Absolutely done with that. Card number 39, air element, communicating. All action results from thought. So it is thoughts that matter. What do you think about defending yourself? What do you think about how you have rejected the most powerful parts of you? How you have actively denied your abilities just so you're what? More tolerable to people who don't have the capacity to even tolerate themselves. And because of their discomfort with their current state of existence, they look for other people to pick on. Those people, I don't know that that's a good idea. Because the moment you step into your place of power, you become a beacon. You begin to emit a type of light that is interwoven with and rooted in truth, divine truth. And as you exist unapologetically in your most authentic state, you begin to liberate all who witness you in the active process of being authentic. You liberate them. You let them see, oh, we're allowed to do that? Yes, the fuck you are. Yes, you're allowed to. No one told me. Yeah, no, they're not going to tell you. They're not going to give you permission. They're not going to tell you. But you know what I learned? God co-signed my existence and my attitude. So you got a problem with that, you got to take it up with God. Go call Jesus, 1-800 hey Jesus, and ask Jesus to text God directly about your complaint, because motherfucker, God co-signed my attitude and my existence. You got a problem with it? That's none of my concern. That's none of my concern. Y'all need to start viewing yourselves in that way as well. Yeah, I view myself like that, but I also have a very clear understanding. There is plenty of things about me that can be improved, that can be refined, that can be more further cultivated to elevate my level of maturity emotionally, intellectually, energetically, spiritually. I am forever evolving as a dynamic shard of consciousness. That is my birthright, to forever evolve and meet more and more aspects of myself within myself and expressed as a reflection of myself beyond my internal space. All of you are a reflection of aspects of me. I see the things you go through. I read the things you write. And I acknowledge you were me during this specific time in my life, during that specific lesson, during that hardship, this blessing, this emotional moment. All of you, reflections of the parts of me as a living kaleidoscope of a dynamic and evolving perception of memories, of things I've already lived through, and potentialities I'm still destined to face at some point. I mean, the more evolved you become, the less you have to try to be humble, because when you begin to see beyond the limited perception of the flawed human mind, you will literally be humbled by how small you actually are and how much more there is to life, to your existence, to divinity itself. It's less about you trying to show how powerful you are, and very much more about you just really trying so hard to be worthy of the purpose you were created to fulfill, whatever that might be. Just really going out of your way to make sure that you are worthy of the honor of the service you were designed to fulfill. How are you ever going to feel above anyone else when you know you're here to lift others above you? Why above you? Because you're strong enough to. And that's what you promised to do. Not because you're less, but because you were made to be more so that you could do that for others who aren't as strong. I mean, you begin to see life like that. It's really hard to scam other people, to manipulate others, to exist in a space of ego. It's very, very difficult, because then you're like, oh, they don't really know. They don't really know. And I can't hold that against them if they don't know. But I can share what I know so that we can both know and share and grow together and evolve and end up at the same place, a space of peace and unity. co-creating even more peace and more unity. Because really, that's all we need, all of us. So, card number 39, air element, communicating. All actions results from thought. So, it is thought that matters. Think it over first. Put some mental effort into it before you put your talk into action. Be logical. Sort it out. This card is about being objective and becoming mentally inspired. When we think of air, we think of clouds and sky and what connects us to the beyond. Air is all about lofty thinking, being broad minded and expansive. Those governed by air are mentally inclined and tend to distance the emotions. Air can represent overthinking and distancing the heart and emotions with abstractions and mental puzzles. But this works well when things do need to be sorted out and clarified. Air also represents clear seeing in all its capacities, so it can signify clairvoyant abilities as well as seeing things for what they truly are without emotions involved, right? Um, no, when you have great power, there's nothing to sacrifice. That's one of the fallacies we're taught as human beings, that to be a good person, you must sacrifice. It is not a sacrifice when you give it up willingly. When you are fully compliant and full submission to the will of soul, forehead all the way to floor, as you bow in submission, there is no sacrifice. There simply is just being and flowing. When I give to someone else, I am not sacrificing by foregoing what I believe is rightfully for me. It is not a sacrifice to me because what I have, I understand is for me to share when my heart tells me to. So that's not a sacrifice, that's sharing. And it's not a sacrifice to me because I know whatever I share, it will be replenished without me even having to ask. When it is needed, it is replenished. And so there's nothing that I sacrifice. Even if it's my last $5, I'm not sacrificing anything. I have a mindset that I had those last $5 for you. That's why I didn't spend it, because you needed it and I didn't know. Now I know, here's the $5. But what about you, Emmy? I know I'll have $5 again. I don't know from where. I just know I will. So I'm not afraid. Nor am I foregoing what is rightfully mine. Therefore, I'm not sacrificing. I'm simply existing as a conduit I was designed to be. So much money flows through my hands. So much money flows through my hands, being brought in so I could give it out. I am not public anymore about what I do with the money that I earn from the work that I perform. I don't share it anymore. Why? Because I'm not interested in predatory people. Recently, well, actually, it wasn't that recent, right? It was a while ago, maybe a year ago. Um, Someone that I love dearly on social media was going through a tremendous hardship. I found out. I found out the children were being affected by that hardship. And I came on a live stream and I bared my heart and I asked our community to help, which you guys did help. And we were able to help this family, a single mother with quite a few children. As soon as that live stream was done, um, had someone in my inbox. I need money. And who are you? Who are you? I need money. Okay, everyone does. Why are you asking me? I'm not a bank. That's why I don't share it anymore. But I'll share that with you guys now because you can't exist in a place of thinking you must sacrifice to be a good person. You cannot buy your way into divinity's grace by sacrificing in martyrdom. You can't. What needs to happen is a shift in mindset that allows you to see, wholeheartedly see, your needs will be provided for as the needs arise. And when you are instructed by soul to give to another what you were gifted to simply hold for another, you give. I'm not attached to money in that way. I'm not attached to outcomes in that way. I don't ever sacrifice because I don't take ownership of things that are not for me. So I never see anything I do as a sacrifice. When this card presents itself in a reading, it's time to put into words what you want, what you desire, and what you expect. The good news is some issues you've been working on at the current time and possibly from the past are now being resolved. You are able to face them without pretense, but most importantly, with honesty. Air is all about being quick on your toes, how curious you are, and how ingenious. Air also gives us the power to apply our energies in diverse ways. It's all about being spontaneous in the moment and landing on your feet, and where you are able to approach things with precision and sharpness. There's also freedom now to take a new path. Air signs look young, so this card is all about feeling young, looking at things anew, having energy, and being young. When your question is about relationships, nope, it's not. It's not. You can expect travel in the near future when this card comes up. The other card right before this, second house, or was it Sagittarius? I think all three of them are also about travel, right? So there's a shifting in your positioning in your life, in your mindset, or there could be a shifting or repositioning in your external world. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're changing departments at work, maybe I don't know, but there's a movement that's occurring. This card indicates the powers of manifestation, the magic of mind and thought bringing ideas into being. What you think might be can be, so guard how you think and be especially careful as to the words you choose. Sometimes this card simply means ambition and the need to soar as high as you can, which is now possible more than ever before. Ooh, mountainous regions may also play part. Okay. Mm. I think there's a lot of things that are being allowed to catch your attention right now. And the things that are catching your attention are the very things that are about to alter your life for the positive, for the negative. It can go either way. It can go either way, you know? And I think the way it will go is the way you determine you want it to go. Be careful of how your thoughts are currently programmed. For many of us, our thoughts are programmed in the negatives right now. What does that mean? Well, when I ask you, what do you want? Is it easier for you to tell me what you don't want, but you struggle to tell me what you do? You're programmed in the negatives. You have to shift that. I once went, and this is the last thing I'll share. I once went to this speaking engagement focused on profoundly gifted children. So, profoundly gifted children are different than children who are above average. They are different because of their neurodivergency. We're not just talking about smart kids. We're talking about kids who are in the 99.999th percentile. Okay? We're talking about the little Einsteins, and you interact with these kids, you know they're fucking different. You don't know how or why, but they're different. Their mind functions very differently. And so I went because I have all of my children are profoundly gifted. And I was trying to learn how to better advocate and just be a better parent, right? Like understand how to properly communicate, um, and how to properly receive their communications. So the speaker, amazing, amazing speaker, she did this little exercise with us, and it was this thing of she's going to tell us something, an activity, and our job as adults is to picture it, to visualize it. So she says, okay, you're running in the room in circles. You're running, you're running. Stop running. And then she goes, how did you visualize that? And I think all of us were kind of confused. Oh, we stopped running. And she goes, but how did you visualize that? Right? Did you sit down? Did you start jumping? Did you just stand there? Did you trip and fall and that's why you stopped running? There's so many ways that could go. That's in the negatives. That's existing in the negatives. What's a positive way to word that? Have a seat. Visualize yourself running in the room. Have a seat. How did you see that? What visual did you get? I sat down on a chair. So this was about how to instruct profoundly gifted children so that they are less combative and more willing to comply. Because you can't just force a profoundly gifted child to comply. They will not comply. they will not comply. You can't just dictate. You have to request. It's not like parenting the average child. So it's teaching us how to communicate with profoundly gifted children. Profoundly gifted children are very different than other children because there are pathways that connect them to divinity that are left intact in comparison with a typical child. Those pathways atrophy while they are in utero. By the time they are born and the cord is clamped, those pathways are sealed off. Profoundly gifted children, those pathways are left open. That's why this is one of the signs that you're dealing with a profoundly gifted child. When my kid was, I want to say that he was maybe 6 years old. I want to say he was 6. The math that we were doing, because he homeschooled, the math that we were doing was algebra. And he didn't want to write down the work. How am I going to follow what you're doing? How am I going to follow what you're doing? So when he would do the algebraic expressions, he would have the pen in his hand, and the tip of the pen was on the paper, and he would just look at the ceiling. And then he would look at the paper, and then he would write the answer. But where's your work? He stares up at the ceiling. Why? He's accessing computations from divinity itself. How do you try and dominate that type of consciousness? You can't. You can't. They'll fight back. Oh, and they'll win. They're smarter than you. They will win and they will make you feel stupid. So, I didn't really have those issues with my kid because I didn't give him the opportunity to choose fighting with me. How did I do that? Rather than telling him, stop running, I would say, hey, do you think you could have a seat for a few minutes because my senses are overloaded? It's too much movement and I have struggles with my sensory integration. Could you have a seat for a few minutes? Sure. Are you okay, mommy? Yeah, I'm just a little bit overstimulated by all the movement. A lot of sound, a lot of movement does that to me sometimes. So I just kind of need to breathe, take a little breather. Yeah. He's not a kid you could say, like, because I said so, because he's not going to listen to you. But if you explain to him, hey, could you please have a seat for a few minutes? I'm overwhelmed. I'm just having a little bit of a hard time regulating myself. And the movement is adding to my overstimulation. Oh, okay. That's kind of how soul functions. When the human brain is like, I don't want this, I don't want that. Oh, I hate that. Whatever you hate the most, that carries with it the greatest amount of manifestation energy because your emotion is the fuel to manifest what you are hyper fixated on. And so that's what your soul will bring to fruition. So deal with the positives. Don't tell me what you don't want. Tell me what you do want. Tell me the pathways you think you might want to choose. Tell me the different potentialities you would like to experience while remaining open to the way soul will deliver that to you. I made a declaration a couple live streams ago. What was that declaration? I don't quite remember. But it's something along the lines of before the end of this year, my life will profoundly change in a beneficial manner because I'm done hiding and I'm ready to reach the next step that will take me one step closer to wherever it is I need to be. I don't know where it is. I just know my life will profoundly change before the end of this year, and my reach will be profoundly expanded because it needs to be. And I'm willing to experience what my soul feels is the most compassionate way for me to develop in maturity, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, energetically. I trust my soul to protect me always. And even if it protects me, I accept that some of the lessons can only be learned through pain, frustration, disappointment, that those could be used as potent triggers. I am not being punished. I am not being forsaken. I'm being challenged to rise by way of making me so uncomfortable in this space of limitation that I no longer want to stay there. That's how life works. If you let yourself see things from a neutral space, you'll see everything that you've experienced has been leading to your understanding of the need to continue to rise. Not rise because where you're at is broken, but rise because you deserve to experience that next part, to reacquaint yourself with other aspects of your greatness, to see what you are capable of achieving in this life, not just for yourself, but for the people who prayed for you to exist as a solution to whatever was breaking their heart. That was a profound lesson for me to learn. That each of us exists as a prayer made into flesh. That before our conception, there was another who existed who prayed for an answer, for a solution to a problem that was devastating And the only solution God could come up with was you. Remember how I told you sometimes the things you go through is what helps you develop an understanding? You know when I learned that I'm a prayer made into flesh? I came to that point of clarity at my mother's funeral. Mhm. I don't think I would have been ready to receive that kind of truth any moment before that. That was the only time I was ready to hear, the only time I was capable of understanding. A truth so profound that you would fight it if you had the energy to. And so sometimes your soul will allow your life to fall apart and your heart to be broken so that you could be split wide open for a truth as profound as that to escape and be gifted to your space of awareness. The moment I heard that thought, as I was preparing for my mother's eulogy, it felt so factual, like a memory being recalled, although I'd never had that thought before. The most painful parts of your life are the most beautiful opportunities to learn to elevated degrees of potentiality. If only you would allow the pain to do it's intended to do. No, suffering is a human construct. Suffering is what happens when you fight against what you are learning. You suffer. Suffering and pain are two different things. They're often misconstrued as being one and the same, but they're not. I don't suffer in life. I feel deeply, very, very deeply. And the depth at which I hurt as I'm learning more about myself, that is very much tied to the degree of rise that I accomplish as I let go of the anchor of fear. Fear serves as an anchor. If you let it go, you just rise, floating to the spaces where you belong. But only if you let go. Speaking of letting go, it is time for me to go. I hope that tonight's reading, although intense and in some parts a bit aggressive, I hope you heard whatever you needed to hear to empower you even further, to give you the courage to loosen your grip on that anchor called fear, to allow yourself to rise back to your rightful place. It doesn't have to be hard. And in the times that it is, just know it's hard because you're increasing your potential. It'll be okay. You will be okay. You will learn. You will grow. You will expand your awareness of yourself. And you will be more properly positioned to do the very same thing for other people. And that's how we change the world. We do it first for ourselves, and then we do it for others, so that others can do it for others, and so on and so on. We are each other's answers for questions we don't yet have the courage to ask. That makes our community very sacred. And I just want you guys to know, I don't care how it makes me look publicly. I will present myself in whatever way that will grow our community in the most profound manner. And if it requires you witnessing me touching into my shadow aspects, then I will. If it requires you seeing me exerting some type of strength that can feel intimidating for a moment, then I will. Whatever it takes for us to grow together as a people and as individuals. I have the courage to be that and to be witnessed publicly being that. And I want you, in witnessing me be my most authentic self, I want you to begin finding the courage to be your most authentic self as well. It's time to prepare. And I think you guys are doing beautifully. So keep going. Keep going. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If you haven't already, find me on TikTok as well. I have some nifty little videos there that I can't post anywhere else because, you know, I'm already shadow banned across social media. TikTok hasn't figured me out yet. So I'm not shadow banned over there. Spread that out. Spread it out. And make sure you follow me over there because I be blurting out some stuff during live streams, and you want to know when I'm live streaming there. Because, I mean, I shared some info yesterday. I don't know if y'all can watch the replay. Your girl spilled some beans, I'm saying. Ooh, I spilled so many beans. Satan's getting gas. I gas him up. He mad at me right now. He big mad. I don't care. I don't care, Shaitan. So, okay, I'm going to get going, guys. Love y'all. I'll see you again very soon. Bye.